Wow, we are live. This is a biggie. This is a biggie. I've interviewed a lot of cool people in my time, but none as cool as Jess Cunningham. And she is the most energetic being that I've come across. And it's exciting to have you on the LinkedIn teardown because your LinkedIn profile really needs a teardown. Jess, how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually really good. And what a bloody intro. I feel like the pressure's on now. But I was just saying, it's funny because when I read the script, I didn't realize you were going to be like ripping my LinkedIn to shreds. I'm like, oh my God, it's not good.
Sometimes this is why it's important to prep, but don't worry, we will be kind, and we're going to look
Don't be
out.
ruthless. I don't mind ruthless.
Okay, well, we're not going to go. That's you, by the way. If you haven't looked at your LinkedIn profile in a while, I know you're big on Instagram. I know
Yeah.
you're big on other social media because you have been a TV star. You are a star. But before we jump into this, just give us the background story of who you are and where you've got to today before we jump into your LinkedIn.
Okay. So it started in 1987, back in a town called. No, I'm joking. Joe, I always find this question really awkward because I never know how much information to share. I'm like, do I share my life story? A bit of
The condensed version.
Okay, so I'm 37 years old. I am the founder of Belief Coding, which is a life-changing, science-backed, transformational technique that was born through my own adversity and through the passion to literally help people change their lives. I'm a mum of 5. I was on The Apprentice 7 years ago. Is that context enough? I can think in language, sure.
Where did you get to on The Apprentice?
At Final 5, so I came 4th.
Amazing. I remember it well. I think that's when the UK fell for you, didn't they? And discovered your energy, and they haven't been able to get you out of their feed since.
Oh, hopefully that's called good marketing.
That's great marketing.
Not on LinkedIn, I'm terrible.
Well, this is it. Like today, we are focused on LinkedIn, and I'm aware of your activities on pretty much every other social media platform. Now, listen, I'm biased to LinkedIn. I used to work at LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, Jess, now has 1 billion people on it.
Wow. And actually, do you know what? So LinkedIn is one of those things. Before COVID, I used to get all of my work via LinkedIn, didn't really do anything with Facebook. Yeah, honestly. And then I know I feel like I should put the gun to my own head. And then I've stopped. For some reason, I've just stopped doing it. I think it's because and I've got some really good connections on there. I've got this great guy, James Ski. Don't know if you know him. Fantastic. But I have actually got some really cool contacts on LinkedIn, but I don't do anything with it. But I know with Belief Coding, we want to go into. You highlighted how many people have got there as well.
You've got 25,000 people that know you. You haven't posted by this 11 months.
I know. I need to get back to it because we're trying to get into corporates now with Belief Coding and bring up because it reduces stress. It increases confidence. So I know I need to do something with it. I think it bamboozles me a little bit.
Okay, well let's slow down a bit. Let's understand what is as part of this kind of this is also about giving you confidence to get back into LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Everyone's discovering you. This is predominantly on LinkedIn. We've got viewers coming to LinkedIn. So let's say they're seeing you for the first time. The first thing is this is your face here on the screen. Great. Who's this?
That's me.
I don't recognize you. I don't even.
I do like that picture.
I'm sure it means something to you, but
it's on brand. I've got the Belief Coding book.
I know, but you can't read that, Jess.
God, I know you're right.
When was that photo uploaded?
I think probably 11 months ago. Yeah. No. Yeah. Is it a terrible picture?
No. Well, for LinkedIn, it is. Yeah.
Why? Go on. Tell me. Give me feedback.
So you're not looking. You're not looking at the person viewing you. So you're not making a connection. It's dark. It looks like you're all merged into one. It's like some kind of AI animation. While this looks like you could be speaking somewhere, it's unclear. And if I'm honest, I just can't recognize you here. You know it's you.
Right.
I don't, and nor does other users.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the first thing that needs to be updated.
I feel like I should just give you my logins and we could do. Actually, should I do it now in real time?
Yeah, but why? Have you got other
No,
photos?
I won't do it now in real time. That'll take too much time.
Yeah, and I don't like so. But this, you've got this as a recording, and look, people are joining us now at 6 o'clock because they're like, "Wow, we've got Jess Cunningham. Let's see what she's doing on LinkedIn because we don't see her on LinkedIn." Okay, look.
She's doing nothing.
This photo here, I love the energy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's you here.
Yeah.
Okay, but it tells us nothing. This is really important real estate. This is like a billboard. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just show you this guy here. He's not he's telling you that he does sales coaching and consulting, and he's worked with these companies.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm showing here. This guy here.
His profile, that looks slick. Oh, God, I feel so.
It looks slick. That's the right word, right? He's got a free community. He's teaching salespeople. He works with these companies. You can see.
I think Aaron would be my friend.
I've modelled a little bit.
You look cool.
That's kind. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit too serious. I need to update mine. But
you've got great vibe and great energy too, James. A smiley picture would look fabulous there.
Exactly. And this, mate, I take it. A smiley.
You've got a good smile.
They couldn't find one that I'd smiled in. The point I'm making here is now go back and look at your profile.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It doesn't sell belief coding and that you work with individuals and companies and it's scientific back. Where's the science? Where's the hook? All the stuff that you do on other channels.
It's not there, is it?
Not there.
No, it's not there. I'm willing to take it. I've got no comeback with that. It's terrible. It's terrible. It was like, yeah, this is a great picture. Look how many facilitators I've got who like to work with me.
And the fact that you made up a lot of business, back in the day here, it's really cool. Like here, though, there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Too wordy. No one's going to read that.
No, they're not, are they?
No, but what you're doing is world class, and I know that, you know that, and it legitimately is. But because you've not been active, you haven't positioned yourself. I think instant transformational belief and mindset leader, and an expert CEO, and a founder of the groundbreaking, life-changing, revolutionary belief coding modality. That is almost how you talk, isn't it? To be fair.
It is, yeah. It's life changing. It is actually, but the thing is, it is life changing. It is instant transformation.
Well, tell us a little bit more about it for those that are just discovering this for the first time, and then we can think about how we communicate that to LinkedIn.
Okay, so who are the primarily watchers now? Are they business owners? Are they corporates?
So generally, we get marketing, sales, business owners that generally watch.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll go for a sales perspective. So every salesperson will go through that ebb and dip where they're great at sales, then they dip down, and they're great at sales, they dip down, right? So generally what's happening, the reason why they dip down is because something is triggered within them that makes them then fall back on their sales. So what belief coding does, it works with any discomfort, any feeling, any negative thought, any negative feeling, any negative thought, and any negative action. And it goes back to the root cause of where that negative thought, feeling, or action was created. We reframe it and change it, and instantly the negative thought turns positive. The negative action, you start doing positive action, and the negative emotion disperses. So if we look at salespeople as well, when they go through them cycles where they sell loads, they don't sell, they sell loads, they don't sell, it's because their subconscious has created a safety mechanism. So they know that cycle is safe for them to survive. Whereas what most salespeople want to do, they want to break those cycles, and they just want to be able to sell consistently, confidently, all day long. Belief coding essentially will help them to do that because it will break any negative cycles. Did that make sense? Did I talk in my language?
No, you nailed it. You might be a good salesperson.
I am great. I'm passionate about what I sell.
Well, of course you are, and you're enthusiastic, but it works. Now, you should transcribe this and think about, you need to consider, of these 27,000 followers, and you can do an analysis, who is this audience?
Yeah.
And who are you talking to? Now, you're going into 2025. You've got some big scientific announcements. You've got a potential big conference going on. I know you do great with women, and that's been a core audience on Instagram, and I see that on your newsletter. But you've got this potential, basically gold mine of extra revenue and opportunity sitting on LinkedIn, ready to be reinvigorated. But you do need to consider who you want to target. And I would argue for you, it doesn't need to just be women on LinkedIn.
No, it's not. So do you know who I do want to target? Because we've got CEOs, we've got blue chips, we've got SMEs. For me, the way I want to move Believe Code into corporates, if you think about like an SME or even a blue chip company, their bottom line employees all the way up to the top, they will all have their own limitations, their own insecurities. One of the biggest sort of, I don't want to use it as crises, but it's the mental well-being within work. It's people leaving because of stress. It's people leaving because they don't feel valued in work. It's people leaving because they can't ask for the promotion. What Believe Coding does, and the reason why I want to get into corporates, we can change all of that, because all of those problems stems from individual subconscious programs and beliefs. So essentially what we want to do, we want to go to corporate companies and create what we've created with Believe Coding within a company dynamic. So if what you're looking at there, oh my God, I'm looking at this, I'm cringing, see what you're doing.
No, I'm distracted. I'm gonna leave you a recommendation. I'm just deciding which option I'm gonna pick.
But brilliant.
Yeah, sorry if I'm getting distracted. Like, it's upsetting me, Jess.
It's upsetting me, James.
Like, I'm just like, you've got this like amazing foundation. So, and I was listening to what you were saying. So, all these CEOs, these people, and I buy into it, by the way, because I'm bipolar. It's a mood disorder. I live with the ups and downs. And
so again, so we've worked with people that have bipolar. So bipolar is a trauma response. So essentially what we could do is we could work with your trigger points when it triggers the bipolar, and that would go back to key experiences. When we go back to those key experiences, again, what we do, we'd reframe them. And you'd stay, like your emotions would stay, but like you wouldn't have such intense shifts.
Well, that sounds. I'm ready.
And scientifically, we can say that. So, honestly, we can actually say, because what's that the best? But yeah, honestly, it is that we've worked with. So some of my facilitators, they work with people with really serious mental health conditions like psychosis. Oh my God, like everything you can possibly imagine. It's all trauma based, and a lot of the time, most people don't have context to why they are the way they are. And also as well, when we talk about trauma could be something as simple as the teacher shouting at you when you're 4 years old in reception, and it stays with you, and that can literally create lifelong anxiety. Or it could be as simple, or it could be, as deep as, sexual abuse or domestic violence. Trauma and negative experiences are how we perceive the situation, how it stores in our body, which then creates protective mechanisms, which pulls us towards the things we want or repels us against the things that we want.
Yeah, and do you know what? Interestingly, we're the same age. I'm 38 on Saturday, so I'm 37, and I haven't cracked it. Like I've been in 7 different hospitals, 200 nights I've spent in mental health hospitals.
Wow.
Yeah, I've still been able to have a career, still had a life, but I'm still, I'm still not as solid as I would like to be, basically. And so I'm interested. So, what's the strategy? What's the vision? We've basically done the teardown, right? So,
oh my God, that was terrible.
I think there's some key takeaways here. You don't need to sweat anymore. Like, the fun thing of this is it draws people in on LinkedIn, and then we actually get the guests to explore wider what's important and what really matters, and that's what we've done. So this is me giving you the psychology of how I've done the LinkedIn teardown.
I like it.
Now that you're here, and you're helping all these levels of an organization, because if you think of an organizational structure as triangle, you've got the CEO, you've got the C-suite, then you've got management, then you've got individuals, and then you've obviously got the worker bees, as it were.
Yeah.
Everyone suffers from stress. Everyone has pressures of life, finances, grievances, whatever it might be. So where are you at? And my followers are interested in the B2B side, particularly.
Okay, cool.
Where are you at in terms of going to businesses, and what does that vision look like for you in terms of where you want to take it?
We are literally at the infancy stage where literally we're just getting our ideas together to create a PDF, to then do a reach out campaign, to start creating like content curated for LinkedIn. So we're literally right at the beginning, but essentially it's we want to target. I mean, I don't even know who we want to target. I'm thinking the HR, but it might be way off, CEOs, like basically the people who make the decisions, because I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm waffling now.
I don't want to. I can like.
Ask me some more questions and I'll tell you.
Well, who you've answered it in some ways, and I can give you like. So I used to work for LinkedIn and sell. I used to sell the learning solution, right? So we used to go into companies and we used to sell their learning solution, which was called Linda. It's now called LinkedIn Learning. And what you're talking about is you've worked very well at the individual level.
Yeah.
And now you want to work at a team level. So who do you think the message is going to land with the best?
So this is the thing, right? So essentially there's different ways you can look at it with belief coding. So if we look at kind of like the top of the triangle, you know, the CEO, the head, the leaders of the company, all of those individuals, they may have an amazing company. However, they will also know that there's ways they can get it bigger. And at the moment, when everything to do with our experiences creates our beliefs. And every single person, when they've had a business and they get to the top, naturally they will have had failures. But what they don't understand is those failures have been detriment to them on some sort of level. So if we work with the CEOs, we'd look at their vision, we'd understand where is the next place they want to go. And then using belief coding, we'd literally get rid of any limitations or any limiting beliefs or any anxieties, any low self-esteem, anything to do with them not reaching their goal. And so they would reach it. So that's like the core level, but also as well, take the business side out of it. So most CEOs, they want to have the balance. They want to have the family life balance. They want to have, the things that they enjoy doing. Most of them feel guilty about leaving work. That guilt about leaving work, again, will stem from a past experience. So what we can do is we can make them feel okay with having that balance. So it's kind of like a holistic viewpoint. We can make them have a more balanced life or feel like it. Then if we look at sort of like your directors level, your directors will have a hell of a lot of stress, making sure everything's right. When we are under stress, most people, they don't perform at their best because they have cortisol running through their body. So what we can say now is belief coding can reduce stress by 95% because we've seen the brain scans. So imagine if you had a group of directors and they were performing without that level of stress. And if I look at myself, so I have 5 children, a really successful multi-million-pound business, which I absolutely love, 2 puppies. My stress levels are nowhere near where they should be with that context. I work 3 days a week and I have my son on a Monday and a Friday because he goes to nursery the 3 days. But when I don't do belief coding, I feel all the daily triggers on top of me and I feel like I'm suffocating with that level of stress. As soon as I do, and I can't function, I'm like, as soon as I do a belief coding session, which is 15, 20 minutes, that stress that I felt goes back to a past experience. I release that stress from the past experience and I feel calm. So I would say whenever I get that suffocating stress, that's probably once every couple of months. But to do with my lifestyle and how I run my business, for any other person that I see running at that level, they look stressed all of the time. Then if we look at kind of like the bottom line, so you'll have people who, they don't feel confident, they feel undervalued, they don't ask for a pay rise. So instead of asking for the pay rise, they'll jump ship, they'll go somewhere else, which then creates more costs with staffing, with, trying to get more people on board, interviews. So if we work to bottom line, increasing their confidence, being able to, share their ideas that could help grow the business or not take the days off sick because they're stressed. So it helps every single level because every person has a subconscious mind with their own limitations and their own desires that they want to fulfill, but they don't feel worthy enough or good enough or whatever it is to get them. That was a long speech, wasn't it?
You nailed it. So look, we could talk all day and all night, and I'm looking forward to that. But for the purpose of this show, we have done the teardown. What are you going to take away from this? And what are you going to do in regards to LinkedIn so that when in a year's time we bring Jess back on, what's going to have changed and how much would you have got from it?
So I'm going to be honest, as soon as I finish this, I'm probably going to send you a WhatsApp and be like, yo, James, can you do like a consultancy? I'll pay you to tell me what I need to do in my LinkedIn. Do you think I'll get a response, James?
You will get a response.
That's what I'm gonna do then, because 2025. I'm not even shitting you. I'm literally gonna be like, James, can I pay you to sort my LinkedIn out?
No, I'm there.
Are you taking on clients?
No, you're in, because I
I'm not even
absolutely.
joking. I am literally gonna pitch for you to sort my LinkedIn out.
Well, look, I've seriously enjoyed this conversation, and I'm looking forward to bringing Jess to more of the LinkedIn world, because I think you're in LinkedIn's world, not the rest of the world. There's so many more people that need to know about you, but from a LinkedIn perspective, we need to get you out there. So, Jess, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Hold back a minute, and we'll wrap up. So, you've been listening to the LinkedIn Teardown. You've got to know Jess. I've been your host, James Ski. Comment if you catch us on YouTube or Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever if you want to see more. And we'll keep bringing you back superstars like Jess that need to improve their LinkedIn profile.